You told me the other day you saw that YouTube demonetized AI content.
They came out with an announcement. We know that you made that video using freaking AI. There's nothing authentic or organic about this at all.
There's going to be a new category for AI versus non-AI.
People looking for authentic, true connection. I think literally this move will save YouTube's butt.
Welcome back to this episode of Rare Things in the Car.
What's up?
We are on the way to the airport because we are surprising Steven's family. We love to just show up at family's house and just be like, hey, we're here. Yay.
Done it probably 5 or 6 times now. It's really fun.
The reaction is just so fun.
Yeah. We got a prompt from our producer, which is, I think, a really important one for what's happening right now in the marketplace.
Mm-hmm. And it is, why is now the time for people to start creating content with AI and trust being a huge issue? I'll tell you, whenever I see a post that is clearly written by AI, like it just reeks of insincerity, I don't even read it. Like you can just tell, like there's like this energetic just vibe that comes off of the post that you can tell that it's AI. And even sometimes and I use AI. We use AI. Of course we do.
We'd be dumb not to.
If it's funny when some people are like, I'm never going to use AI. Well, then you may as well still be riding horseback instead of being...
Yeah, you're going to fall behind. Yeah, you should use AI.
But you got to use AI in a way that is still humanizing and still connecting. Because if my robot's talking to your robot, we're not going to get anywhere in life.
Well, and you know what I think it is too is, so I've been finding my inner author, and you're an amazing writer.
Thank you.
Right? But the way that you write is super different than the way that you speak. And so the written language comes off different than the spoken language. So the way you say something is not the exact same way you'd write it. And since AI doesn't really, its thought process is based off of the writing language. And so it comes off weird. You know what I mean? You can tell, I have a hard time reading AI's responses because it's written not how normal people speak. So you can tell at a glance, even if you take out the punctuation pieces, you take out the things that clearly flag the fact that it's
emojis and M-dash,
all that stuff. If you remove all that stuff, it still doesn't flow the same way normal people write or speak.
One of the ways that I write AI is I actually talk to AI. So I'll turn on ChatGPT and I have a voice dictation app, or I'll speak to Otter and then put my transcript into AI. And I know that soon Otter is probably going to be obsolete because OpenAI is already putting that feature natively into ChatGPT, but the way that I just verbal process, it gets to know my voice so well that the copy comes out very much like me because I just keep training it. And it's kind of weird how scary it can be when it starts to get to know you. I remember there was something, I got some health assessment back, and I was trying to understand what it meant. I have the MTHFR variant, and I have 2 copies of it. And I was like, tell me about this. What does this mean? And so I'm talking to it, and then at the end, it's like, would you like me to write this into a text so you can explain it to Steven? And I was like...
It just suggested it.
How did you know? Yes.
Sure.
Weird. How did you know to do that?
That's crazy. And I think with AI, it's a great brainstorming partner, but it's a terrible final say. But I think that's the benefit of it. If you think about the nature of AI itself is all past-based. There's nothing futuristic about AI in terms of what it's telling you because it's using past data always. AI is a history-based tool. And so for people who are entrepreneurs and they're worried that it's going to eat their lunch or whatever, you really have nothing to worry about if you think about it in a way, because entrepreneurs are very futuristic. We live in the future. So what AI is helpful for is using patterns to help map the future, but it doesn't know the future. It's a historical-based piece. So whenever I see someone come in and they're using ChatGPT or something like that to make all their posts and their copy and stuff like that, you can tell immediately that there's no thought that's going into it. It's just I need to make a post because that's what I'm supposed to do. And there's very little room for ingenuity if they just copy-paste.
You told me the other day you saw that YouTube demonetized AI content.
It's coming up, I think, in a couple of months.
Oh, so it's going to start to?
Yeah, they came out with an announcement. They have these machines that are we know that you made that video using freaking AI. There's nothing authentic or organic about this at all. And so they demonetize it. It's not that you can't post it, but you can't make any money from it anymore.
Mm-hmm. And I feel for creators, the organic creators, and that's almost going to have a new meaning too, because like, what's this? Is there going to be a new category for AI versus non-AI raw dog content? It's even a hook sometimes. I've seen people at the top of their posts say, this was not written by AI. And for some reason, that's caught my attention to read it.
To read it. Yeah. It's funny that there's going to be a whole category called organic human thought.
Yeah.
And the other is going to be called non-organic thought. Really smart, but not wise.
Do you think that at some point, if people were just able to use AI for all their content and all the videos and stuff like that, that it would be discouraging for the non-AI, organic, real, humanized people? Because do you think that they would feel like, how can you keep up with that? Or is it that the humanized stuff is actually going to be the stuff that people relate to more because it is human?
No, I think it's both. I think it's actually why YouTube is demonetizing it, is because as a creator, you know, if you start seeing all these channels blow up and someone just had to literally press a button,
yeah,
and there's no thought into it. Like we were learning about this the other day, that someone will go spend, you know, months putting together a really cool YouTube script that takes off. Other people see it, they rip the script,
right,
and they just have AI go remake the video that someone else worked hard on the script on, and the hook and the angle, and it's like, so I think literally this move will save YouTube's butt.
Yeah.
Because what's my motivation to go make stuff? Someone's going to just keep hacking it off. I think what we're going to step into next is the era of the society figuring out what the intellectual property line is in the sand. You know what I mean? We're going to start, all these machines are going to start teaching, hey, you can't rip this. You can't take off anymore. I do think one of the major reasons, though, why people need to keep creating content right now is not just the difference between machine and human, but there were people that came to one of our last events because they asked ChatGPT who the top YouTuber is, and for like YouTube strategy, and your name came up.
Yes, that's right.
And like, and the same thing as mine.
Cool. Thanks,
who can I learn? Yeah, who can I learn funnel and offer strategy from? Steve Larson. It's like, what? Like, because ChatGPT and these machines are LLMs, language learning models, every time someone probes or prompts it, it learns. And that's what makes it intelligent. So it literally changes every time someone talks to it. So one of the cool things I've been doing is loading up some of my free or older courses into it. Because now anytime anyone asks anything, like it has, I'm in the database.
It has your data. Could there be ChatGPT ads that when someone asks a question about funnels, it's like, I want to pay for my name to be dropped more often?
I think it's only a matter of time as they start selling sponsorship stuff, but it's not at a place. It's still so new and exciting on its own. They don't need to do sponsors. It's kind of like Facebook. Facebook was just new and exciting and interesting. It wasn't until the big money came and stepped in and kind of screwed over the little guy, but that's when sponsorship became big and ad buying and all that.
I was thinking about how like there was a software called Jarvis that was good for AI copywriting.
Remember that?
And then when ChatGPT came out, it was like, well, Jarvis.
Sorry, Jarvis.
Sorry. Yeah, like that software was what, like $100 a month, and ChatGPT was free or 20.
Yeah.
So
and better.
All of these companies are just become obsolete. I remember we also got pitched this idea of like, hey, we're going to make your own AI. We're going to make it sound like you and talk like you. And they were charging like tens of thousands of dollars.
So much.
And now it's just like, it's just normal.
It's like a normal subscription fee for science sheep. And it's like, I think it's the cool thing about AI is like, as a creator, you need to learn it, but everything's also going to get cheaper as it gets bigger. If you kind of understand it, even at a minimum, you're going to have all the edge like crazy. I just feel like those who don't learn it right now are basically going to be the baby boomers who didn't learn computers.
Yeah.
But they had their life to not take advantage of that. The speed that it's going to affect people's lives is going to be like 10 times faster.
So as we're creating content, I want to share like 3 things that can help people to create more humanizing, engaging content that people will, I think, connect with more than AI. You can also still use AI to create content like this. But I think the first thing, and one thing that we've always done in our content is like pick the hill to die on. Pick the content, the topic, the polarizing, spicy conversations that is going to warrant opinions. people don't take action until they feel something. So if you're just like talking at people in your content and here's how to blah, 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 but you're not giving people a place to like feel or get heated up or get passionate or get angry or get awesome and happy and humorous, like that's the content that's going to fall flat. And it may as well just be AI prompt, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Brands are going to become more valuable than they've ever been because brands, I mean, the heart of brand is an emotional mission. So if you don't have an emotional mission, you know, you're not followable until you draw a line in the sand. So you do need that hill to die on. You have to have that mission that you're going to go full force with the rest of your career.
Which for you.
Yeah. This is an example of that. Right? It's capitalist pig stuff. It's like, it's an emotional mission. And
people love it. People hate it. People misunderstand it.
Which is perfect for a brand.
As a result, it pushes it further because
exactly what you want for
people to talk about it.
Yeah. 100% what you want for a brand. So it's like, and I think that's the mentality that these creators and people who make content need to get over now is recognize that your creative energy can be put into entrepreneurship, which is like product building, but you also need to put your creative effort and energy into brand building, which is totally different than entrepreneurship. And you can use AI for both. And if I can go out and I start making my own organic content, I have my own mission, I think there's a lot of first mover advantage right now to just pumping out as much organic content as possible. Google buys YouTube, right? And now when I go out and I Google something and a YouTube video pops up,
yeah,
that's like hijacking the Google algorithm through YouTube. But the same thing is going to happen with all this AI is that those who've been producing content for a long time, it's now getting sorted and ranked and filed and taught to these big, massive AI machines. And so you're going to get found easier. It's the next Google that's literally going to find everything.
Best time to plant a tree 10 years ago.
So like, yeah, pump out content, which is cool to say again, because I don't know, it was like 6 years ago, the way that you won on the internet was by volume, just omnipresence. And then that kind of left for a little while. And I feel like, I don't know if it's back in the same way, but the importance is back again though.
Yeah.
Pump out content, you know, which I'm really excited about. I think on YouTube also the way that you win and what AI is making happen, we're filming a video in our car while we drive to the airport. It's very authentic.
We're making content.
You know what I mean?
It's not like the, we have this big fancy studio that's unrelatable and
right.
The guru on the mountain that you can't even reach.
Which we have a studio, but we're not even filming this in there. Remember Mr. Beast even came out a little while ago and he goes, I'm going to stop making such polished videos, like a slightly more
storytelling.
And the storytelling is becoming more important than it ever has been.
Yeah.
And doesn't have to be so high produced anymore either. People looking for authentic, true connection.
I've had clients that as their channels got bigger, they felt the pressure of like, okay, got to stay on top, stay like high quality, and they'd invest in these like big cameras and studio sets and stuff like that. And then their content actually like took up a bit of a shift because people really related to them when it was just them like sitting on the floor in their closet, packaging up, they're shipping their orders, whatever, for their brand. And it just felt like they were a fly on the wall or they were like the friend next to them. And I think that's why people like Sam Sulek, he's this like big bodybuilder. His channel just absolutely blew up, and his content is a lot of the times it's similar to this. Like it's his camera next to him while he's driving to the gym, and then it's his camera next to him while he's working out at the gym.
And it is not like produced,
No.
There's no edits out. He's like munching on food.
His titles, his thumbnails, they're like not anything that I would think is YouTube strategy, and it works because it's like, first of all, he's a unique looking human being. He has a unique lifestyle that I think is intriguing to people, but also the way that he just relates to you.
Yeah.
While he's talking, it's like
he's not on stage in his mind. What's up, everyone? How you doing, YouTube? It's like that stuff is really dropping.
Yeah.
Just like what we're doing right now is what's popping.
Second tip, I think, for keeping your content on the up and up, as the kids say, is to show your receipts. Show the social proof, whether it's your results. That way you can share kind of like a how-I instead of a how-to, which also humanizes you. Like Steve, one of the ways that your brand grew the most when you left ClickFunnels, after being like the right hand there, you made a public declaration of like, I'm going after making $1 million, and follow me on my journey as I share the highs and lows and what works and what didn't. And it was documenting the process, which is so relatable for people.
You know, I think that people are super sick of and over the highlight reels of social media. And so your perceived weakness and the thing that you're like most afraid of people seeing is actually what makes you qualified to be followable in the first place.
Yeah. So much evidence of that.
Yeah, whatever risk you're taking in your business or in your life actually becomes an asset when you publish it. And so that was exactly what was going through my head when I did that, though. I was like, risk published becomes an asset. If you don't publish it, it's a liability. What's cool about that is everyone's just like, I don't want to keep seeing the highlight reel. Don't show me just all the cool stuff you're doing. Show me the human stories. Story is only interesting because there's dips. If your story is only highs, like imagine a movie where, you know, no superhero has any weakness and, you know, I'm the bad guy, always dies. You know what I'm saying? There's no low. That's not story. That's trailer. That's highlight reel. And so you got to think of yourself as a content creator that's willing to, you don't have to show everything. I think that's the beauty of what's happening with all this AI is it's causing this trend at this right time when social media is like, everyone's kind of over the highlight reel crap. And they're like, all right, what we're doing right now, it's not exactly polished. We're in our car. I drank an energy drink and threw it in the back. I mean, you know.
Clean that up later.
And you show, and then maybe. No, but you show the other parts of your life so that they fall in love with you as a character and not just your mission, which is important, and not just your product, which is important, but it's like a well-rounded, they want to fall in love with the person now and not just the product.
Can you think about the spikes in your audience or in your content and what those life milestones were? Because for me, it's so weird to say, but when I went through divorce,
Sure.
When I was going through cancer, when you and I got together, for sure, like people were excited about that. It's interesting that like the highs and lows of life, if you share them, which is also equally as vulnerable because sometimes sharing the wins can be scary.
Yeah. There was a period where I stopped announcing how much I was making every year because it felt awkward. Because at first it was like, I hope I can just not die in a gutter. You know, I was like, I'm going to leave my job and hopefully I someday make $1 million. But
yeah, that video was like, I'm going to make $3,000 a month. Isn't that what your first video was?
Yeah. And I was like apologizing for it throughout the video. I'm sorry, it's just enough. It's not that much, but it's just enough for me. I'm so sorry, tired of being broke and poor. But then when it started being like $1 million a year and then $2 million a year, then $3 million a year, then $4 million, it got awkward. I definitely felt the opposite of that where I was like,
That was so interesting.
Yeah, but you're creating a storyline using the natural things already happening in your life. And you know, whenever we go through and share this with people, one of the biggest things people get stressed about that is they're like, I don't want to live my life on camera. And I very much get that.
Yeah, but I
don't.
I also don't think that people need to live their life on camera. Yeah.
So what would you say to that? Because that was like, I'm going to podcast, I'm going to do YouTube, and I get on stage, and that's kind of it. But sometimes how do you do what we're talking about without living on camera?
The best content to create that is going to convert the most and that is going to be the most sustainable is the content you enjoy making. So if you don't want to be on camera all the time, don't.
Yeah.
If you don't even want to be on camera, don't. I mean, sure, I'm going to encourage you to push through that because how much of that is just a limiting belief and you overcoming resistance.
Sure.
But, you know, I have a client he's like, I don't like being on camera. And I'm like, okay, well, let's talk through this. He's a freaking fantastic writer. He blew it up on Twitter. Great.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be like, no, you have to be on camera because the algorithm gods said that because that's my preference. I'm going to put that on you.
What I love most about the internet as far as business is that it rewards you for being you more.
Mm-hmm.
You're not trying to be somebody else or be something you're not. You're trying to be you louder. And that's what the internet pays you for. If I go work for somebody else, I have to be their definition of success. I have to click in, you know, and I mean, that's really what you're doing is I'm not just doing my job. I also have to show up in a way that the boss likes. But when you go off and you start doing this stuff on your own, I mean, you're literally rewarded for being yourself louder. right? And you can always tell the people who are trying to be something other than they're not. It comes off weird.
Right. It's the equivalent of the reeking of insincerity ChatGPT content.
Yeah.
When you see people that are like trying to impersonate Gary Vee or Hormozy or Mel Robbins or whoever is like the flavor of the week.
Yeah, I hate that phrase. I'm gonna make Hormozy content. Like, stop.
Make you content.
Make you content. Like, stop. Stop all this. Stop. Just be you louder.
But I think the third point is make your content feel like you're just hanging out. Like that this is personalized. You know, we gave the Sam Sulek example that the content that's like kind of documenting, that you're documenting content, you're compiling content instead of creating content. And that's how I would say for me, I can enjoy creating content a lot easier because it's not this like birth heavy lift. It can be at times. I can certainly have seasons of that. When I made the cancel culture documentary, that was definitely a season of birthing brand new content.
That's a great one.
We all felt that.
Yeah, that was hard.
But the content that's like, I mean, we're like on our way to the airport and we're like, hey, let's just pull up the camera and do a podcast right now. And what's top of mind? Cool, let's talk about that.
Yeah, and this was probably the hardest one for me to get over because for the first like 4 or 5 years that I made YouTube videos, I was back on stage.
Performative.
Yeah, I was speaking one to many. Yeah. And that's a different style than we're speaking to right now. I'm not like, what's up, hypey, how you doing? And you kind of do that stuff on stage just a little bit because you're commanding a room.
Yeah.
But YouTube is much more for the individual. And notice our tone now, it's much more laid back. That's been the key. Yeah. Those videos have always gone much further than go in presenter mode. And that's the big shift happening right now as well. Our producer yelled at me for a while for that one. Stop getting on stage in your brain on these videos. Sorry.
Talk to one person. Well, we just talked your ear off about content, about AI, and once you have incredible content, you built a brand with AI, you're going to need to funnel that to your call to action, which we have a 5-day challenge called Build Your Perfect Funnel, where over 5 days, we will help you build your throttle funnel. Click link below, grab that. Peace.